So there's not much I can do about that. Yep, and it's his character and everything. God damn it. Am I gonna do this? Should I wait for him? I think I can do him justice, I think. But I might let him give his opinion on a separate, like, stream on Robin. Either way, I screwed up. This is the wrong thing. That doesn't matter. Like, I'm not gonna touch install skills and things like this for now. So, again, I'm just touching on playstyle, and just remember that install skill build I told you in Charlie's video? Just go with that as the basis. That's the basis of every other of the characters. So, either way. What the fudge is going on here? Okay. Time for Robin. So, what about Robin? Well, I will show you what he can do first. Again, his basic attacks, skills, and explain the skill. Well, that was accidental. That wasn't the way of entry. Looks pretty fine, doesn't he? Okay, so let's start with his basics. So, yeah, I'm gonna have a good talk about his basics in a second. Here's his, that's his aerials. Again, the 1 light, 1 heavy, the aerials. 2 light, 1 heavy. 3 light, 1 heavy. So this is not good. Warning, that is not actually a good skill. That heavy isn't good, the third one. Even though it looks good, it actually is not. Okay. So, also his heavy attack. He has 2 heavy attacks by itself. It's actually pretty good heavies, actually. It's actually pretty good for clearing. I even say it's better than some other things he has. Now, how good are his basics? I'm sorry to say this, but he has probably some of the worst basic attacks in the game. Because of this. This little spin he does on the second one can go take a hike. It is so slow, people will definitely get out of this so easily. Even if you do this afterwards. It is very good for clearing, but it's terrible for catching people. He has some of the worst basics in the game, unfortunately. So, we already are not starting on a good note. Now, let's start with his skills. So first, Poison Arrowhead. Yep, that went far, didn't it? Attachment Shrapnel. That's okay. Triple Kick. And Nerve Round. So, let's start explaining skills after the basic attacks. So, first, Poison Arrowhead. Your bread, your butter, and everything in between. Your bread, your butter, your toast, your bread, your butter, your toast, your just peanut butter, jelly, and everything in between. This is the skill that makes Robin. This is the skill, basically, his highest damage skill, his longest range skill, and just the most godlike ability he has, if I had to call it something. This thing has a lot of range. However, it has a tiny hitbox, as if you've noticed. But this thing not only damages a lot, it goes very far, and it sticks very well with Robin's playstyle of a long-range character who snipes from afar. That's his point. He's kind of like this game's version of an assassin. And that ability there is literally his bread and butter for what he's supposed to do. Robin's playstyle compared to other people is a lot different from the normal character. Attachment Shrapnel. Now, this skill is fine. But again, we've seen more impressive skills than this, haven't we? Yep. The skill is good damage, but it doesn't do much more but explode in front of him. It explodes in front of him, does some damage, but that's where the whole strength of his attachment shrapnel ends. it's not, it's relatively fast as well. In theory, you can combo it from one of his basics, but you could do that with Poison Arrowhead and do more damage as well. So, it's kind of like, why use it? I guess you can get decent drive from this, but it's not even that amazing either. Get drive. Because he has this, triple kick. This is a great skill. So, you can combo that from basic attacks, and if you're close enough and you hit someone with Poison Arrowhead, you can go into triple kicks and combo. Also, it's really good to get drive, and it's just a really nice skill. The only negative is you are using your body, obviously, like any rush skill. So you can get taken out of it, but it's kind of difficult to take him out of it. Unless they have a counter. If they have a counter, you're kind of screwed. But that's the counters in this game. You're kind of screwed if you go into one of them with a rush skill. Either way, his triple kick is really strong, and you probably should use it. Nerve round. Now, this looks like Tamamo's Thunder, doesn't it? Where it's pretty slow coming out. But I'm gonna say it actually works for Robin. Why? Well, I'll explain later. Probably after I show you one more skill. But I'll tell you right now, you can use this with Robin. I don't recommend it, because you need, again, practice of use. So, you'd need to practice using this skill effectively. But, again, you can. You literally can use it. So, for now, that's those skills. We're gonna go back to base camp and change to other skills. Again, chat, if you have any questions about anything, about any specifics of the character, I am here to basically answer them right now. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Okay, let's go grab the other skills. I will keep triple... Will I keep triple kick? No, I'll keep Poison Arrowhead. Actually, no, I kind of have to show you why Nerve Round can be used. So we're gonna grab Faceless Skin, Camped Bolt Birds, and Hunter's Rain. Don't worry, by the end of this I will obviously be explaining this playstyle in an actual multiplayer game. So, don't worry. That will happen. Okay, let's start the show.
敵に見つからないように中枢部へ向かいましょう。空よと。
Okay, so here's this other skill. So attachment catapult first. You can move it a little bit, as you can see. That's kind of the range it has. Hunter's Rain. And finally, Faceless Skin. Oh hey, look! We're invisible. Invisible. Except on the minimap, we still show. So this is why I say you can use this stun. So, his shtick is also he has an invisibility skill where he cannot be seen on the naked eye unless you look at the minimap. He is still visible in the minimap, he's just not visible like to other people. Unless you're really close to them. If you're really close to him, you can actually see him. But you need to be close to him to see him. And even then it's still hard. So, this sticks very well with his shtick of playing, which I will show later. Now, Catapult Burst. This thing can kill people. It's like Tamamo's Fiery Heaven, in which, though maybe not as, like, it can't rotate 360, though, comparatively, but it still does the same job. The problem with that skill is, once you're in it, you can't get out of it, obviously, and you can be punished for it. But that thing can burst down someone to 0, from 100 to 0 while you're on drive. And then you have Hunter's Rain. This thing is, pretty nice. Okay, so this seems very this seems similar to Projection Injection, doesn't it? Yes, it is. It's actually almost the same, except maybe the AoE is a little better where it lands. Also, it also lands well with his playstyle, though. So, I've been talking about his playstyle a lot, and here's what his playstyle is. Let's consider that this square is the point. His playstyle is gonna be something of this genre. Shoot people on the point from outside of it. Be a giant nuisance while invisible. Change your positioning and catch them with your skills. Maybe go in for some basics. Try not to do this a lot. But that's his playstyle in a nutshell. It's stay away, use your skills to basically poke them to hell and back, and just kill them from afar. As simple as that. As you can kindly see. And that's his playstyle. Also, now I might as well show drive. So on drive, obviously everything. This will kill on drive. This won't, but it does a lot of damage. This is fine. Now the problem is, he's not the most effective character on drive because of this. His basic attacks not being the best. If they were better, he'd be a bit more effective. You can still do it, it's just not as good. And I didn't use the drive skill. Okay. So, his drive skill though, one of the best in the game. This is one of the best drive skills in the game. By the way, you keep drive on the air while you stay in the air. Yeah. Okay, let's end that. So you can keep drive while in the air. Why is that one of the best drive skills in the game? That drive skill hits twice. The first time is when he shoots, and the second time is when it explodes. So there's 2 times where it can actually kill people. So don't sleep on the second one or the first hit. The first hit, if you hit it very well, good job. You're a really good Robin player, because you actually were able to do the first hit on a person. That is actually really impressive. But then the best part is, that is literally a skill that just gets you in the air, and you're so high up in the air, nobody can really do anything about you there. You're so high up that it doesn't matter what they try to do. You can just keep doing this and just not die in the air, technically. It is probably one of the best, if not the best, drive skill in the game. Technically, probably the best drive skill in the game. As you can see, you can just keep doing that. And that makes him pretty, not versatile, but very nice. At least he's very safe. Also, yes, you are invulnerable during that whole thing. So, yeah, plus points on that. So let's actually go to an actual multiplayer match, and I will explain him. Damn it, I screwed up. Damn it. Oh my god, I screwed up on that one. Oh boy. So time for the multiplayer segment where I showcase the character. So I'll try and showcase his playstyle as best as I can, even though his playstyle and mine don't mash very well, because I'm more of a point person than a out of point person. That doesn't mean you can that does not mean you can't use him in the point, it's just he's more effective outside of it. He's a guerrilla fighter. So what skills do you want on him? So this is the usual skill set that a lot of people use. The only skill I wouldn't take is Shrapnel, because this is probably his worst skill by far. You can technically take Nerve Round instead of like Hunter's Rain, and you can technically take Catapult Burst instead of Hunter's Rain. But I'd still recommend these skills more than these. But again, you can use Nerve Round if you can use it well, and you can use Catapult Burst if you can use it well. They are more high-risk skills with probably higher reward. Hunter's Rain is a lot safer skill. It is a lot safer. So, let us go Let's just grab people, send from Hippolyta, here we go. Oh yeah, there is one more detail I didn't talk about. Faceless King is buff skill. It's not a normal buff skill. What it does is it makes your basic attacks do back damage in the front as well. But it doesn't do what normal buff skills do, which is it doesn't give you hit stun priority against people on drive. So watch out for that. It does not give you that power. Ever. So what do you want to do when you start off with Poison Arrow? Go invisible. Here we go. On terrain. From outside preferably, by the way. And make sure you hit it. And you're not like me and a complete poison enters rain. That should be a kill. As you can see. This is what you kind of want to do. You want to stay outside. Get drive your triple kicks. Keep shooting inside the point. Try and snipe people with poison arrow, as you can see there. This is a Hail Mary there. Yeah. That was a Hail Mary. Get drive as fast as you can. Once you have drive, well, you can go a little bit more ham. Don't do that, it doesn't work. You can do this one. If you can catch them with the second attack, all good. Poison arrow them, just do that and they're dead. It's as simple as that, like. Until you get drive, you kind of want to play outside the point. And drive skill when you can. See, it still hit him. Then you can do something like this. And keep yourself on drive for a bit. Don't try not to abuse that though, please be a little nice. Just because I'm showing you you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. Okay. Oh, yeah, right, that. And now they have, as you can see, you kind of want to stay outside, as I said. And shoot from afar. Like that. Try and use your invisibility to your advantage, obviously, but if you're not invisible, be careful. Shoot people with the poison arrow, catch them off guard. Use hunters then when they're off guard. You want to catch, basically, your point is, you're a guerrilla. You're basically trying to catch opportunities, find opportunities to screw them. This is what I mean by his basic attacks not being the best. Once you're on drive, it doesn't really matter. You can lock on, by the way, to make it easier to hit your poison arrow if you need to. When you're on drive, you can stay on the point, though, to help out your team in the point, if they need you on the point. There we go. And shot! Ah, I missed. Oh, I hit someone. And there you go. So that's his playstyle. You kind of want to stay outside, though, a little bit more than I do. But don't completely stay outside. He's also very good for something else, which is grabbing towers. He's very good for that due to his invisibility. And basically just... You'll probably not notice him in the match, but that's fine. That's how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to notice him in the match. That's what he wants. So, I've said some pretty good things about him. How good is he actually? Now, he doesn't technically have a buff skill, which kinda is a bit of a detriment. He has nice skills that have very good uses, but only outside the point, usually. Your abilities, while in the point, make you very vulnerable. Outside the point, you're better, but in the point, you're a bit not the greatest. In either way, you're not supposed to be there. You're kind of like the one guy that wants to stay outside the point and shoot people to death. You're kind of like an assassin. Just think of yourself like an assassin. You want to use your invincibility to the best of your abilities, as long as you can as well. and just, you know, go ham with him with his invisibility. You just want to go ham with him. There. Once you get drive, you can be a bit more risky and go in for basic attacks, but in general, you don't want to rely on his basics. Ever. Never rely on his basics. So, how good is he? He is a solid character. Again, he is a pretty fine character that has his very good uses. Where he shines very well, but he has a lot of situations where he doesn't do as well. So how good is he? From a rank from D to EX, so D, C, B, A, S, EX, Robin gets a B. A solid, very solid B. Again, he is not as versatile as other characters. Well, as versatile as... He can't do a lot of the things other characters can do, but he still has his own niche that he fills in this game. And that niche is very well filled by him. And that is Robin in a nutshell. Like, quite literally a character to just... No, don't sleep on him. As even though I said he's a B tier character, is B, for me at least, personally. Just because I put him in B tier doesn't mean